So you're an actor and you're going for an audition, and it's for a pretty big part. Today we want to talk about what is going to help you give your best performance. If you understand stress, you realise that actually it is common to most human beings. Most people, and in the moment, go through this type of thinking, and it doesn't actually help them secure what they've gone for in the first place. The only problem is that the reason why it varies is it depends on what your preferences are, right? What particular situations you think are a threat. That's why it affects some people in those situations and it doesn't affect others. It really depends on what you think is a threat. The problem with it is that it doesn't allow you to give your best performance, because instead of using the part of the brain that will allow you to do, which is the cortex, you're using the amygdala. In the amygdala, you have an alarm system, right? Which is, you may have heard this before, but I'll reiterate it. It's like a lion, right, chasing you when you're out in the bush, right? It's only going to tell you the worst case scenario. It's going to ensure that your heart beats at a rate that's going to allow you to have the oxygen to get away from that threat. It's not meant for auditions, but unfortunately it becomes part of it because of the way we think about the audition. It doesn't allow you to give your best performance. It makes you think the worst. You can also think that if you don't get this particular audition, it's the end of the world. You can't bear it if you don't get it. And quite often you also think, and if I don't get this audition, I am worth less, I am a failure, and all this other kind of negative interpretation of that particular event applied to ourselves. It's irrelevant to think of it like that, because you don't get one audition doesn't make you a complete failure. There will be another audition. What you probably haven't noticed, is that something I've noticed, is that common to all of these problems, right, with emotions, doesn't matter whether it's anxiety, anger, any of the main problems you have, is the demand, that you're demanding something. You may ask, what do I mean by demand? Demand, there's always an absolute should or must. Just because you think that somebody should think you're great during the interview, does it guarantee that they will think you're great during the interview? Focus, okay? Understanding that when you're in that situation and you've gone into that way of thinking, bring yourself back to focus on the task, right? If you know you've gone into this worst case scenario thinking, you now know, because of the information you've had in this video, that you're going into another state of perception. So your reality has changed from the reality, which is about the audition. So what you need to do is, once you recognize that, focus on the task in hand, right? Which is about giving your best performance.